Good day and welcome to News Express. The political atmosphere in Lagos shifted dramatically after the APC officially declared Deputy Governor Dr. Obafemi Hamzat as its governorship candidate for the 2027 election, following the conclusion of the party's primary election held at the APC secretariat in Akim Oba. The outcome has now positioned Hamzat as the man expected to continue the ruling party's dominance in Nigeria's most politically influential and economically strategic states after Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu completes his tenure. The primary election itself was presented by party leaders as peaceful, orderly, and transparent. But the scale of Hamzat's victory immediately sparked major political discussions nationwide because of the overwhelming margin recorded during the exercise. According to the official results announced by the chairman of the APC National Governorship Election Committee, General John Temlong, retired, Hamzat secured an astonishing 657,917 votes out of the 657,974 accredited votes cast, while his challenger, Larry Jim Kamau, managed to secure only 1 vote. Another aspirant, Samuel Ajose, had earlier withdrawn from the race before voting commenced. For many political observers, the result reflected not just Hamzat's victory, but the enormous influence of the APC political structure in Lagos, particularly the role of party leadership and consensus building within the state's political hierarchy. Lagos politics has historically operated differently from many other states because major decisions often emerge from extensive consultations among influential party stakeholders, political elders, and the Governor's Advisory Council, GAC, before formal primaries even begin. That reality is why many analysts believe Hamzat's emergence had effectively become inevitable long before the votes were counted. The governorship primary drew the attendance of several high-profile political figures, including Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Senator Ganiyu Solomon, former Deputy Governor Femi Pedro, council chairman, lawmakers, commissioners, members of the Lagos State Executive Council, and other major party stakeholders. Their presence reinforced the image of party unity around Hamzat's candidacy and signaled the APC determination to avoid the kind of internal crisis and fragmentation currently affecting political parties in several other states. Declaring the results officially, General Temlong stated that Hamzat has fulfilled all constitutional and procedural requirements of the party and was therefore returned to the APC governorship candidate for the 2027 election. I hereby affirm Dr. Kadiri Obafemi Hamzat, having satisfied the guidelines set out in the party's constitution, is returned as the winner of the governorship primary and the APC candidate for the 2027 election, he announced. In his acceptance speech, Hamzat adopted a tone of gratitude and continuity, praising Governor Sanwo-Olu for his leadership and contribution to the development of Lagos State. He also acknowledged members of the National Assembly, the Governor's Advisory Council, the Electoral Committee, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whose political influence remains central to Lagos APC politics. With humility, I accept the candidacy of the APC in the coming 2027 elections, Hamzat declared. The emergence of Hamzat is politically significant for several reasons. First, it signals continuity within the Lagos APC structure at a time when the party remains determined to preserve its decades-long dominance in the state. Since the return of democracy in 1999, Lagos has remained under the control of political forces aligned with Bola Tinubu, making the state the strongest political base of the APC and one of the most strategically important states in Nigeria's electoral landscape. Secondly, Hamzat's candidacy is expected to strengthen the image of technocratic governance and continuity within the APC. Over the years, Hamzat has cultivated a reputation as one of the more policy-driven figures within Lagos politics, especially in areas involving technology, infrastructure, education, and governance reforms. Supporters believe his background and administrative experience may appeal to professionals, business communities, and younger urban voters who continue demanding more efficient governance in Lagos. However, the outcome of the primary has also generated quite criticism from some political observers who argue that the overwhelming results reflect the continued dominance of consensus politics within the APC, rather than open competitive democracy. Critics insist that Lagos politics often operate through carefully managed arrangements where party structures and allied endorsements heavily influence outcomes before voting even begins. Still, APC loyalists defend the process strongly. Supporters argue that consensus arrangements help preserve stability, reduce internal conflicts, and prevent the kind of destructive primary battles currently destabilizing parties in several states ahead of the 2027 elections. They also point to the APC's long record of electoral victories in Lagos as evidence that the party's internal strategy continues working effectively. The emergence of Hamzat also intensifies political discussions regarding the future direction of Lagos after Sanwo-Olu's administrations. Lagos remains Nigerian commercial nerve center, facing enormous challenges involving transportation, housing, insecurity, flooding, unemployment, population, pressure, and infrastructure expansion. As a result, whoever governs the state after 2027 will inherit one of the most demanding political and administrative responsibilities in the country. Political analysts believe the opposition may now begin recalibrating its own strategy in response to Hamzat's emergence. Although the APC remains dominant in Lagos, opposition parties have continued attempting to expand their influence within the state, especially among urban youths and frustrated voters seeking political alternatives. The 2023 elections already demonstrated signs of growing opposition energy in parts of Lagos, particularly during the presidential election, where Peter Obi recorded strong performance in several areas. Whether opposition parties can build enough momentum to challenge the APC machine effectively in 2027 remains uncertain. For now, however, the APC appears determined to project unity, continuity, and organizational strength around Hamzat's candidacy, while consolidating its political hold over Lagos heading into another highly competitive national election cycle. That's all for now on News Express. And to our amazing viewers, kindly like, subscribe, and share this video. I'm Chidera Esom. Thank you for watching. Do have a beautiful day.